Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, March 24th. We are almost done with the month. Welcome to our leadership development call. My name is Miriam Kareem. So happy to have everybody here so we can learn and grow our businesses from our amazing coaching entourage. I am just so excited, and I hope that you all have been taking notes. Anytime one of our 6 and 7 figure earners says something that resonates with you or a reminder, take it to heart because it's going to come up in your business. It's going to come up. So you definitely want to take it seriously and just try to remember, try to recall, listen to the recordings again. Especially if it's something that resonates with you, write it down, read it over again. Quick trip to the newbie corner. So one thing that resonated with me was this past Sunday, actually, what Coach Will said um, about getting your emotions in check. Everybody on this call I know has had some sort of beginning to your day that would just throw you off. And then just crazy um things can happen and you can get back into the mode that you used to be in before you were on a track to becoming successful. And I always in the back of my mind, let's hear Coach Marcus saying, you know, do it anyway. Even if you don't feel like it, do it. Stay consistent, be consistent. Don't get upset. Don't be like, oh, I don't feel like it today. Do it anyway, because that happened to me actually yesterday. Something happened and it just really just threw me off. The whole day I was just feeling like, and then I thought about it. I said, you know what? No, this is not going to ruin my day. This is not going to, I have non-negotiables that I have to conquer every day. And this is not going to get in the way of my non-negotiables. So if you have non-negotiables, if you've got a plan that you're working on a daily basis, do not let your emotions take over. And excuse me, do not let your emotions take over and ruin your plan that you're working towards your business. So that being said, I'd like to introduce you all to our teacher tonight, Coach Seymour Greenish Blake. He is a multiple six-figure earner in the network marketing world, a six-figure earner at our green organics companies, and an amazing teacher. Always has great insight, life insight to help you be the person that you need to become to get the type of income that you want to have. So, Coach Seymour Greenish Blake, are you available, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I am available. I am here. Thank you for the introduction. I need to meet that guy so I can go ahead and sign up under him so I can be a multiple six-figure income earner like him. Let me start by saying this. If when you first got on this call, if you wasn't motivated before you heard Coach Marcus' song, if you're not motivated now, I don't know what else I can say. Because that song pumped you up. It should have pumped you up. I know it did with me, but I stay pumped up anyway. But if you wasn't pumped up after that song, you should be. And then after this teaching I'm going to be teaching tonight, it should really take you guys to start really getting your mindset in the right place so you can see the success that you have inside of you that you want to achieve. So with that said, I'm going to go off camera so I can pay attention to my notes of the teaching that I want to bring to you tonight. I believe that I talked about this once before, but I had something else. But today I changed it and decided that I want to do this again because it resonated with me that people are not where they are because of certain things. And after this call tonight, if you didn't get the message, that means you weren't paying attention. So make sure, before we get started, make sure first off, like I always say, that you are in a quiet location where there's no distractions. If you washing dishes, stop. If you washing clothes, stop. Get your pens and paper, take notes. When Coach Marcus post the replay up, go back and listen to it and add some more notes because you may have missed some doing the call because sometimes I talk fast. But again, go back, listen to those replays, not once, not twice, 3 times or more. Because every time you go back and listen to those replays, you're gonna pick up something that you missed in the prior one. Okay, so that's so let's go and go off camera so we can get started. Get you guys out of here on time tonight. And first, I want to thank everybody for being here for the 42 people that we have on the call right now. Okay. So tonight's call, teaching the topic for tonight's call is going to be the identity shift. Okay, the identity shift. And in that identity shift, you becoming the person that your next level requires you to be. Okay. I'm going to start off with this right away because I don't want to just for you to be just listening to me today. I want you to hear yourself. Okay. I want you to hear the version of you that you have been avoiding because a lot of us, we have visions, but we are avoiding them for certain reasons. And the truth is that most people are not stuck because they don't know what they do, that they don't know what to do, but they're stuck because they have not become who they need to be. Let me say that again. Most people are not stuck because they do not know what to do. They're stuck because they have not become who they need to be. And that's a different conversation that you should have with yourself. See, in this industry that we are in, we spend a lot of time talking about what to do. Should we post more stuff? Should we reach out more to the people? Should we follow up more? These are questions that we are, and comments are, and statements that we make to ourselves. But very few people sit down and say, let's talk about who I am, who you are, while you're doing all of that, while you're posting more, while you're reaching out, while you're following. Who are you? Okay? Because if the identity is off, guess what? The activity will never produce what you are looking for. You can do all the right things with the wrong identity and still stay stuck. And I know that might hit a little different for some of you, but that's why you are here tonight. You didn't come here to be entertained. You came here to what? Elevate yourself. Let me ask you something. And I want you to be real. Not for me, but I want you to be real with yourself. And you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Who are you when nobody's watching you build your business? You don't have to put that in the chat, but I want you to be honest with yourself when you answer that question. When nobody is watching you build your business, who are you? Who are you when the phone is quiet? Who are you when nobody joins you? Who are you when the results don't match the efforts? I understand that version of you right there, that's the real CEO of your business. I want you to seriously think about what I just said. Who are you when nobody's watching you build your business? Not the version that shows up here tonight on this Zoom call. Not the version of you that posts on Facebook. Or the version of you that smiles when everything is going good. I'm talking about the version of you behind the scenes where nobody's watching you. That is the one that's in control. And if we don't fix that version of ourselves, nothing else that we talk about today is going to matter. Nothing else. I'm gonna slow this down a little bit for you guys because this is where the shift begins, okay? You're not trying to build a business. Let me say that again because I want this to really reach inside of you. You're not trying to build a business. You are becoming a person who can handle a bigger business. And that's where most people get it wrong. They're trying to grow something without growing themselves. You got to build yourself up first before you can go out there and try to build somebody else up. Because if you're going to be the leader, most people going to follow what you do. And y'all always hear me say on these calls, be the leader that you will follow. If I'm not a leader that I can follow myself, how can I expect anybody else to want to be on my team? If I'm the one that's always procrastinating, you think anybody want to join me? Because they don't see me being successful. They see me always making excuses. They're not going to want to join me. So I have to make sure that I am a leader that I will follow. So you need to make sure that you are the leader that you will follow so somebody else can follow. They always tell this, you always hear this statement, for somebody to love you, you have to love yourself first. Use that same statement when it comes to becoming a leader. Your business will only grow to the level of your identity, not your effort or your excitement, not even your potential, but your identity. So today we're going to deal with identity. And if that makes sense, put a 1 in the chat. If what I just said makes sense to you, put a 1 in the chat. See, so today we're going to deal with what? With identity. Not the surface level of you, not the motivational part of you talking. We're going to go deeper than that. See, because if you can shift who you are, everything connected to you will start to shift. Now let's walk into this first level of it. And I want you to really hear me and understand me on this when I'm getting ready to talk to you about. There is a version of you right now that is holding you back. It's not the company. It's not even your team. And it's sure it's not the environment. It is you. But not all of you, just the version of you that you've been operating in. And that version is you being very comfortable where you're at. You have to step out of that. See, that version of you knows your habits. It knows your excuses. And that version knows how to keep you safe in those excuses and those habits. And every time that you get close to leveling up, that version of you pull you back. Not because it wants to hurt you, but because it wants to protect you. And you know who's in control of that version? You. You see, a lot of times you want to protect yourself from the discomfort, from the risk, from the change. See, this is a problem. Your next level requires for you to be discomfort. It requires you to grow. The next level requires a different you. So now you're in a fight between you, or between who you are and who you want to be, who you're called to be. I know I was called to be on this earth to help people because that's my biggest joy, is seeing people receive my help. Like I said on last night's call, It makes me proud to see that somebody else that followed my directions used the product that I told them how to use it, was able to also, like myself, reverse their third-degree kidney damage. That makes me proud because I helped somebody. Because that's why I was placed here. That's my calling. My calling is to help people. And those of you that know me know that that is true. I'm a red person, but I'm also a big yellow person. I thought I was more a yellow person than a red. I found out in Dallas a year ago that I'm more a red person than a yellow, but I'm a deep, deep yellow person. Know your calling. And this was something that changed my life. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your identity. You can write down all the goals that you want. I want to hit this rank. I want to make this amount of income. I want to build this team. It sounds good. It sounds great. But if your identity does not match that level, you will fall right back to that, to feeling normal. And I had to understand that. Like I tell y'all, most of the calls that I teach is stuff that I've been through. I don't talk it just to talk it. I talk it because I've been through it. I want you to understand. I want you to feel this. Because this is where people start to wake up. You don't have an income problem. You have an identity standard. Because whatever level you are at right now, that's what you're accepted. That's what feels normal to you. And until you raise what feels normal, nothing gonna change. So let me ask you a different question today. Not what do you want, but what are you willing to become? Because those are two different conversations. Everybody wants more money, more freedom, want to have a bigger life, but very few people are willing to become the person that requires that. Because right here is where we break it down. There are three versions of you operating right now. Three. And those three versions of you is this: the current you, the comfortable you, and the called you. The current you, that is based on your habits, your daily habits, what you do every day. That is the current you. What you've been doing, what you've been thinking, how you've been showing up. Again, that's the current you results. The comfortable you, that's the one that tells you you can do it tomorrow. You don't have to push today. Take it easy. You have done enough. I call that the procrastination you. That makes you comfortable because it keeps you from, it keeps you holding in your fear of what people gonna think about you. So I'll just do that tomorrow. Sometimes that version might sound good to you, but that version of you keeps you average. But then there's the call you, and that's the one that bothers you. That's the one that won't let you settle. That's the one that sees more for your life. And that's the one that says, you are bigger than this. You are capable of more. This is not your final level. And my question to you is this. And I want you to be, again, honest with yourself. You don't have to put it in the chat if you don't want to. My question to you is this. Which one are you listening to? Because the one that you're listening to is the one that leads your life. I want you to seriously think about the answer to that question. And most people are letting comfort lead them. And then they wonder why they're not progressing. Don't say that you are the called one if you're the comfortable one. And if you're the comfortable one, you got to get out of that comfort zone and become the called one. Again, you're not doing this for me. You're doing this for you. So I want you to keep that question in your head and I want you to answer it honestly, because if you're not answering that question honestly, you're not going to go anywhere in life. If you don't make that change, if you're not the called one. So from this day forward, I want you to start asking yourself one question all day, every day. What will the next level version of me do right now? Not tomorrow, not next week. What would a different person version of me would do right now? I want you to ask yourself that question daily. Again, not what I feel like doing, not what I've been doing. What will that version do? And if that version will make the call, you make the call. If that version will follow up, you follow up. If that version of you will stay disciplined, you stay disciplined. Again, because identity is not something that you declare, it is something that you demonstrate. Okay, let me walk you through another level. See, because this is where people start separating emotion. Your emotion will destroy your business. And we're going to talk about that at the beginning of the call. If you don't learn how to control them, man, this is just crazy how every week we always entwine with each other, not knowing what we're going to talk about. But this is crazy. Again, if you don't learn how to control your emotions, someday you will feel good, someday you just won't, someday you're excited, some days you're not. But your business cannot run on how you feel. If your business is based on emotion, your results will be inconsistent. High level earners operate from discipline, not emotion. They don't ask, do I feel like working today? They say, this is what this is what needs to be done. So I'm going to get out there and do it. See, that level of discipline is what creates predictable success. I want you to take a pause for a minute. And I want you to really think, how many times have you let your feeling decide your future? How many opportunities did you miss because you didn't feel like it? That stops today. So from this point forward, you'll move with decisions, not emotions. Because once you decide, there's no negotiation, and that's the next level of identity. There's no negotiation. You don't wake up and decide if you're going to work your business. That decision was already made before. You don't wake up and decide if you're going to be consistent. That decision should already be made because successful people remove options. And you hear me always say, my title of my book, Winning is My Only Option. I don't believe in a plan B because a plan B basically tells you it's okay to fail and you can start over. For me, I have to win. I am not planning on not being successful. If I make a mistake, I study that mistake and I go back again and I go back on that drawing board and I make sure that I don't make that same mistake. So at the end, my goal is to always win. That's my only option. It should be yours. Because when you remove that option, when you remove that plan B, you remove excuses. Let me take this a little bit deeper. Because this is where leaders are made. They're made just like diamonds. With what? Pressure. Your next level should come with pressure. You should become have more responsibility, more expectation of your goals, more challenges. And if you can't handle pressure, like they always say, if you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen. If you cannot handle pressure, you'll never hold the next level in your business, or in your life, or in your relationship. So instead of asking, how do I grow my business? Ask yourself, how do I grow my capability or my capacity? Because your business will only grow to the level that you can handle. And if you can't handle rejections, you will stop very, very soon. If you can't handle slow seasons, you will quit too early. And if you can't handle leadership, you'll never build a team. So the real work is internal. It starts inside. Let me bring this home for you. I'm doing this because I want you leaving here differently tonight. Not just feeling good, but thinking different, moving different, being different. You don't need more motivation. You need alignment. I said that on I think two calls ago. You need alignment. And that alignment need to be between who you say you want to be and how you actually show up. Because when those two matches, everything starts to change. Your confidence will start to increase. Your discipline will lock in. Your results will begin to grow. And the biggest part is your life will start reflecting a new standard of yourself. So here is what I want you to do. And I want you to start doing this starting today when you get off this call. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Immediately after you get off this call, I want you to decide, and not even before you get off the call, I want you to do this now. Decide who you are becoming. Not who you're hoping to become or wishing to become. Decide and who you are becoming. And then every single day that you show up as that person, even when it's hard or slow or nobody's watching, because that's where the transformation begins to happen. And if you stay with that long enough, consistent enough, and disciplined enough, you won't have to chase success anymore. Success will start chasing you. I remember when I first started this business almost 7 years ago, I was trying to find people. I was going after people. Now I have people reaching out to me on Facebook. Man, I've been watching you for the last 6, 7 years. I'm ready to get started with you. Make people find you. Don't be hard to be found. A lot of you have Facebook and you don't use it the right way. You're scared to post about your business. You're being an undercover business person. You don't want people to know that you're in the network marketing business because of what they're going to think about you. You keep thinking that way and your income's not going to grow. Make yourself available for people to find you. When that happens, you will have a better business. You'll have a better you. And that right there is what takes you to the next level. Thanks for coming on tonight, guys. Back to you, Mary.
Whew. That was some serious reality check happening right there. Thank you so much, Coach Seymour Greenidge Blake. I definitely, what I've been going through is just spot on with everything you said, and it's just you feel it. You absolutely feel it when you start becoming that person. It may take a long time, but when you start feeling that you're becoming that person, it's just amazing. It's a great feeling. You don't want to go back to that old version of you. You just don't. So thank you so much for that. I'm just one thing that stood out to me was my business will only grow to the level of my identity. And that's so, when you think about it, even when, what is it? Oh gosh, I can't remember his name. That does the laws of leadership. I can't remember. I always forget his name. But his first law is the law of the lid, that your business will not, thank you, John Maxwell. Your business will not exceed your level of your skills and everything. So you want to always be developing so that you can just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. So my goodness, if y'all please give him some love in the chat, and I can't wait for the replay because I'm about to cook and hopefully it'll be ready and I can just pop it in while I'm doing that. It's a lot of times, like he said, listen to these recordings several times because you're going to hear something that it didn't pop right then when you were listening to it. You may have gotten distracted, but when you hear it again, you will be like, "Oh, okay, well, how did I miss that part? Let me write that down. Let me rewind that and hear it again." It will internalize it, internalize it because it's definitely something that will help your business grow. So unless Coach Marcus has something to say, we're going to end this call.
One more
And
thing before Coach Marcus come on, I want to say, first off, thanks everybody for the comments in the chat. And one thing to remember, if you can read my shirt, it says, do one thing every day that scares you.
oh, I like that. I love that.
And that can take your identity to the next level, because if it scares you and you're
Hmm.
doing it, you building your identity again.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
remember that. Back to you, Mary. Sorry for the interruption.
Absolutely. It's okay. It's okay. And I was thinking about that today because I've got like three non-negotiables that I do in my day, and one of them is not as important as the first two, but it's still important because that can build to something. So you can't, even if don't discredit anything that you think is not important. It's all important because it's going to build over time. So, Coach Marcus, did you have anything you wanted to share?
Just real short, the messages both you guys shared today are so on point. I like how you guys never get with each other before the Zooms and discuss what you guys are going to talk about, but they always relate to each other. Like you said, your feelings. What I got from what you said. Your feelings don't matter, right? Your feelings don't care about your bills. Your feelings don't care about your bank account. Your feelings don't care about how much you weigh, right? Just keep moving forward and push past the feelings. Okay. And so that's what I got from your message. And for me, I never have bad days. Okay. I might have moments that are bad throughout the day, but I never have bad days. Even when I was in the hospital back in 2020 from that car accident. Yeah, it was a bad moment. It was unfortunate. Almost died. I should have died according to doctors, but
Mm.
I still push past the brain injury, the fractured spine, contused ribs, and I'm laying in a hospital bed building the business despite being in pain. The doc, my wife told the nurses to take my phone away, and so 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 I thank you for that message, right? I know for me, I don't always feel like waking up at 4:45 in the morning so I can be in the gym by 5:15 because I don't have a job anymore. I don't have to wake up that early. I could be like Coach Will and wake up at the crack of noon, but I like getting the hard stuff out of the way first. That's why I go to the gym and put my body through some pain, right? Because that's like my hardest part of my day. Sending messages to people, sometimes receiving calls or prospecting, doing videos. That's not hard. That's probably the easiest. And Coach Seymour, I liked what he said about, don't be hard to find, right? I like Coach Prime, right? Colorado's coach, right? And he has a shirt that says, I ain't hard to find, right? Don't make yourself easy to find. So when people have a problem that we can solve, they'll know to reach out to you to solve that problem. It could be for money, if someone needs to increase their income, or it could be for their health, right? You want to be the person they think about, when it comes to solving the problem. And so I really like that. And you also have to grow. You have to become the person you want to be before you are that person, right? And so I encourage people, don't be the thermometer, right? The thermometer rises to whatever the temperature is. Be the thermostat, right? The thermostat sets the temperature in the room, right? And so once you get to one level, okay, you may making $5,000 a month. Okay, well now, okay, your thermometer and thermostat are set the same. Well, now you want to go from 5,000 to 10,000, or from 10,000 to 20,000, or for me wanting to get to $100,000 a month, I have to grow. Okay, so I have to just keep growing and growing until, okay, my thermometer matches the thermostat. And that's the same for you guys. We have to become the person we want to be before we are that person. So that means your thinking has to change, or you can't think about not having enough money, right? You have to have your mindset to be where you say, how can I get this, to the saying, I can't afford this. And I catch myself, there's times I want to buy something. I could afford to pay $100 for a pair of shoes, right? But there's times where I won't do it just because I think I need to buy some groceries. I'm like, wait a minute. So I have my index card where it says I earned this amount of money this year. That's one of my exercise I'm doing. So I have to even work on my mindset, because growing up, having two pair of shoes. The most pair of shoes I had at one time was a pair of football cleats, a pair of basketball shoes, a pair of dress shoes, and a pair of playing shoes, right? And so for me, having that mindset, of buying shoes, changing the way I think, right? So that's why I had to grow to where I'm at, to where I am today. So encourage you guys. But I appreciate you guys sharing, the newbie corner, and Coach Seymour always preparing and bringing a good message to us. Coach Will was here. He was hiding in the bushes, but he did comment and made amazing call. I know he's been talking. Coach, he's been talking nonstop since Saturday with all the trains we had. So he's been going strong and had more calls today. So I know his voice is probably just needs some rest, but so not going to call him unless he wants to share. Um, but uh but appreciate you guys for showing up tonight. The 45 people are here. And we catch you guys tomorrow night. We have Franchise Factor training, same time, same Zoom link, and tomorrow is part three, because part four is next week. So wait a minute, no, tomorrow's part four. Tomorrow's the last Franchise Factor training in the series. Then we just start back at part one next week, because next week will be April 1st, right? So let's close out the month strong, right? Follow up with people who may be interested in the products or in people who indicated they want to increase their income. You want to follow up with those people and get them in the business, before the end of the month, so we can close out the month strong. But that's all I have, Miriam. Do you have anything you want to share?
Oh, no, that's it.
All right.
Unless Coach Will wanted to say something, but if not, then we can go ahead and end the call. Thanks everyone so much for having given us your attention. And thank you so much again, Coach Seymour, for your amazing, amazing, always insightful wisdom that you share with us every week. So we
You're
will see
welcome.
you all I guess tomorrow night for the Franchise Factor, and Thursday night for the Detox Divas at 7 p.m. Central, and our Business Opportunity Zoom on at 8 p.m. Central Time. So
Hey,
till
stay,
then, we'll see
hey,
you
stay,
guys.
stay here. Stay here, you guys. I'm gonna stop the recording, but stay on really quickly. Let me
Okay.